My dad was in the Second World War. My uncle was in the Second World War. I had an uncle who had frostbite in the foxholes in Korea. You never knew what was happening in Berlin. And I saw people trying to escape from the east. And they got killed trying to jump over the wall. If they can do those things, I can handle a little cancer. Why me? How me? No one in my family had cancer, so I said to myself, but I'm a survivor, so I knew that I had to move forward. I can't quit. I have a family and I have obligations, and here I am. I got activated in 0203 for 1 year with when I was at the Pentagon. And while I was there, I started to have the symptoms of an enlarged prostate. And at one point, I had to wear a catheter, and it was quite difficult. And then I started to see some urine in my blood in my urine. And so I thought, oh, well, it must be the prostate again. So I went to the urologist, and he said, yeah, let's go in and let's set you up for surgery, and we'll reduce that again, open up the tube and all that stuff. He gave me he went up with a scope and he told me that I had a huge tumor in my bladder. And he described it as Gargantuan. So it was huge, and so that was not good. And so they decided to operate on me 2 weeks later. It was like, how fast can you come in, and how fast can we set up the table? I don't know if they didn't have the legs down or something, and so that was how I found out that I had cancer. Why me? How me? No one in my family had cancer, so I said to myself, but I'm a survivor, so I knew that I had to move forward. I can't quit. I have a family and I have obligations, and here I am. How old am I now? 78, and I know what I have to do still in life. I tell my son, he's in college, and I tell him, I say, son, I'm going to be here until you graduate, because I want to see you graduate, and then you can start pushing me around, maybe. Like in a chair if I need it. He said, Dad, I'll be there for you. So that was, it didn't hit me because I didn't know about cancer. per se. And you know, when you don't have something, you read about it, you hear it on TV, but you don't know exactly what it is, and it takes a little. You have to have it for a while in order to, know that it's what it is. Well, if you sit there and talk about it all day and to say, oh, poor Wally, all you do is dig a hole. And you know, as one sergeant once told me, don't dig a hole and want me to jump in there with you. And I don't want to dig one for myself. So I just moved on. Now, that doesn't mean I feel good every day. That doesn't mean I have all the strength, and I can't tell the difference between being old and having a sickness. So so I'm going through two changes of life, right? You know, I tell everybody about being old. Every 10 years, your body changes. It starts at 40. At 40, 50, 60, 70. And I think it waits until you turn that day of your birthday, and then it hits you. And it takes a little bit of your something away, right? You can't stretch as much. You can't run as fast. You can't lift as much. All these things, and it's a combination though. When you have cancer and you're getting younger or older, in my case, it's difficult. I was in remission for a couple years, and while I was in remission, they would have me come in and do a scan, and I wasn't taking any meds then, I don't think. And I went in and he told me that I had a cyst or a tumor on my at the base of my spine, and because of its position, he couldn't operate. They decided to try immunotherapy. And then they gave me what they call a PET scan. The PET scan said that the tumor was dormant. It had died. And so I said, okay. And so that was that. And so here I am now. I go every 3 months. I get a scan. No mindset. I just went. The doctor said to do it, and I did it. That's your soldiering, you know. You just keep soldiering, right? And so that's what happened. I didn't have any second thoughts about it. I just went and did it. And so I have no fear. You know, what would stop somebody from getting cancer treatment? Fear, nothing else. And their fear is based on, in some cases, their history, their family, how they were brought up. In my family, we never stopped. We always went. My dad was in the Second World War. My uncle was in the Second World War. You know, everybody, half of my other side of the family, all my uncles. I had an uncle who had frostbite in the foxholes in Korea. And so, if they can do those things, I can handle a little cancer. The one thing that you have to do is have your family with you. The less stress you can have, if you have people in your family that are helping you, you know, it's the difference of life and death. Having them helping me when I had a problem became so big. And I have doggies. I have a few dogs. And dogs love you. They never stop. So, yeah, for the guys or girls that are getting or are going through cancer, that's a big thing. Is your family and love, understanding. Try to keep the stress down, and because the disease itself is stressful enough. So you start to appreciate more every single day. Every single day, every single moment. You laugh as much as you can. You you don't really worry about the small things because you may not have anything if you don't make it. So cancer has, and getting old is the other thing. I tried several times in my life to get younger, and it doesn't work. You know, if I go out and I run too hard instead of getting in shape, I start to hurt my heart. So, you know, I used to be a runner, but you know, you aged takes its toll. What you have to do is always have hope. Always be strong. Always grab that sickness by the neck and twist it. Always know that if you work hard and do your best, there's a good chance, not 100%, but there's a good chance you're going to beat it. Get yourself checked regularly. Make sure you listen to what the doctor says. Have your tests done. I think that's what I would tell all the people who want to know about cancer, that you, if you have it, you can beat it. If you don't have it, don't do the things to get cancer. There's a few things that they know that are associated with cancer, and just if it comes along your way, just knock it out, man.